Alright, so before we start it up, let me give some introduction to about me. I think it's a good practice for you guys to know whom you're talking to or who is the guy who's going to train you and all that, right? So I'm Srikanth Adagiri in the IT industry for the last 16 years, well, then I've been part of the BI system practices for the last 13 years, including building some data warehouses, BI projects, consulting, architecting, and managing experiences. Right. So majority of my experience actually starts in the goes across the world. So I was an NRI for better part of my life. I was living overseas and eventually helping different kind of business customers across the globe. Help them up building their data warehousing and BI solutions for them. And eventually, my BI experience, the BI career, is something I started in year 2001, way back in the year 2001. And I come with the experience across the various aspects of
Shrikant,
Hello.
hello Shrikant, this is Vikant from US. Can I interrupt you for a while? I just want to make sure everybody is able to hear your demo, because I see some of them still saying that they're not able to hear.
Go ahead, buddy. I'll wait for you.
Sure, Kiran, are you on the line? Kiran? Let me type. Let me see who is else. Okay, I think there is some issue with these guys not able to hear. So
You need a US number to be provided? Do you need a US number?
yeah, that would be great if you can.
Give me a second. I'll just share it up. Cool. So that would be great. You got the US number, buddy? Vijay?
Sorry, not yet, Shrikant.
Okay, give me a
I think
second.
Kiran is still not able to hear. Some of them said confirm that some of them confirmed that they are able to hear, but Kiran said he's still not able to hear.
Okay, give me a second. I'm just trying to find out the number. Hey guys, that's the US number, the toll free.
And we still have same passcode, dialing passcode.
1 second. Give me a second. Dial in passcode for this is just a second. The access code is 415-347-325.
Hold on. What is the 415?
347-325. I just typed in.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. I think now we'll be able to good to go. I think they are going to dial in whoever can't hear the audio.
Sure. All right. So just in
Yeah,
case.
Srikanth, if you can start from the beginning, just for the sake of repetition, for guys
No
who missed
problem.
it
No
earlier.
problem. No problem. So I
Thank
just
you.
shared the web link for the folks if they have missed out, or just typed in the
Okay.
web link. Okay, guys.
Thank you, Srikanth.
No problem. All right. So just to start talking about, so basically, I've been talking about the brief introduction about myself. Basically, I'm Srikanth Hadagiri. I'm in the IT industry for the last 16 years. Basically, a majority of my experience spanned across the international arena. All right. So I was living overseas, helping my customers across the globe, setting up their global data warehouses and implementing BI system solutions, etc. for the last 16 years. And out of which, like 13 years of my career predominantly goes into the BI spectrum. I'm basically come with a variety of skill sets to be in the BI area, and primarily to start with my core competencies on the business object suite of products. However, I also has opportunity to architect some solutions on Microsoft BI and IBM Cognos, and some solutions on Hyperion, Brio, and Essbase, etc. in the long old days. Right. So basically, I come with well over 10 BI implementation experiences, end to end, setting up the data warehouse from the beginning, architecting it, managing it, and finally rolling them out. Also, my core competence allows me to work, had hands-on experience working with a variety of new generation technologies such as SAP HANA and business object data services, etc., etc. At this point in time, I do a lot of consulting with the different customers that I have in the US and the international area, and I'm more into blueprinting of the systems, solutioning, and eventually performing some application, some design or implementation areas. Right. So just to precise, my BO experience is about 11 years. I started I think it's about 13 years of my BO experience way back in 2001 where I started, 2001 and 2002. I have actually got an opportunity to start my career to work with the BI Business Object 5.1 and 5.1 to 6.6.5, XI release 2, release 3, and release 4. So that's where basically my experiences have spanned across. Like I stated, I do a lot of consulting, corporate training, and eventually a solution design for different customers that I have across the globe, in India as well as the US and Singapore markets. All right, so that's a bit of brief about me, guys, and today I'll demonstrate to you the business object suite of products, its architecture, what you need it here, and comparing it to its basic architecture possibly. During the course of time, just in case if you're not able to get what I was trying to convey, please use the chat box. Use the chat box to type in and pose me a question, and I'll respond to you in appropriate time. So if sometimes I may answer you instantly, or sometimes I may just take a little time to answer them out. Right? Thank you, guys. Here you go. We'll start talking about the BI platform components to start with today, and eventually we'll also start focusing on bunch of other stuff, going ahead into the different other tools that have been rebranded from the BI 3 to 4, and BI4 architecture, tools and features related to it, and how we can perform upgradation to BI4 platform. All right, guys. When we talk about business object systems, all right, so business objects is basically a business intelligence applications. A business intelligence talks about understanding the underlying meaning of your business data. Business data typically comprises various numbers. To talk about, this may be sales, this may be production, this may be inventory details, this may be a material information, or this may be your finance data as well, or looking at your balance sheets, etc., etc. And then eventually, guys, Business Objects is an organization which is a French-based organization, was found in sometime in 90s in Paris. Eventually, the sole objective of this organization to start with building a reporting application interface to churn out some data from their corporate business information, or in other words, corporate information stored in databases out. One of the major version was the most successfully released by the Business Object was basically a Business Objects 5.1, or in other words 5 series. This is one of the most sought after business intelligence application platform then, targeting majority of its customers for its simplicity as well as a presence on the web. And eventually Business Object has been acquired by SAP in the year of 2007, and then SAP has amalgamated Business Objects based products into SAP Suites offering, which includes the integration of the SAP Business Objects suite of products into SAP's core business intelligence application platforms such as BW integrating with BO, and then integrating itself to facilitate a reporting interface on top of various other SAP based applications. And then eventually, guys, after SAP's acquisition, Business Objects has released a major release product called XI Release 3, which was released in sometime in the year 2009. What difference it has made to the customer base is that during the acquisition of Business Objects by SAP, it has probably the largest customer base in the world in the business intelligence segment. SAP has eventually added more customers that they have in their ERP segments for, into the business intelligence area. And subsequently, it has reinvented itself and, in other words, introducing a bunch of new products with its Release 4, Business Objects BI platform Release 4, which is released in the year 2011, which comprises numerous reporting products. All of them are placed on a single platform, meaning a business intelligence platform from SAP Business Objects BI Suite can facilitate a different kind of reporting needs of an organization. All of these information as bundle are put together underneath one platform known as Business Objects BI or SAP BOE platform. Well, what does it comprises of? Let's take a look. When you talk about a BI platform, like I mentioned, a BI platform is an information presentation area. In other words, it's basically a BI platform allows it to depict the data values that you have underneath your corporate data warehouse. Primarily, all this data is been built on top of a trusted data layer. A trusted data layer is typically known as a data warehouse or corporate data warehouse or eventually a data mart system. What does it comprise? Why it is called trusted data layer? Basically, when we talk about the world of data warehouses, all this suite of the information is actually typically starts from facilitating confined data, moving the confined data into the target data warehouse system. The data that is moved into a data warehouse is trusted to the core. It's authentic. It does not contain any anomalies. Information that is stored inside is processed for various scenarios, cleansed, and made it authentic. And eventually, this information can be utilized to generate or use your bias or whatever by information that is generated on top of this data can be redefined to make it authentic, and eventually use this information to perform a business analysis and eventually make business decisions on top of it. A business decision may include setting up optimization of the business process, or identifying any sales anomalies that you may have understood. Anomalies here talks about identifying the least selling products or the best selling products, or eventually to talk about any other business situation, like how your health organization financial health is doing. Is your manufacturing sector is doing well or not? Do we need to make any other amendments to it, etc. All these things, this can be computed with the help of the business information systems based on the corporate data that is residing into. Eventually, guys, when you talk about an organization contain different levels of people. Various levels of people based on their roles and responsibilities, and each has to do their duty to be able to fulfill a cause, which is you're running an organization. Example, it has various base products here, such as crystal reports, dashboards, web intelligence, advanced analysis, and eventually Explorer. Of course, it has also added a bunch of other new products into those schema, into the BI platform suite. Let us understand what are these different products are and how they're going to impact here. When we start talking about something called crystal reports are something which are defined for OLTP based reporting. In other words, crystal reports are something which are known for a detailed data reporting. Reporting information which requires a detailed printing of information, which to talk about a line by line information. An example of this that you might often see it going into a supermarket, purchasing some products, a variety of your groceries, and you might want to buy some household needs, etc. All of these are line by line item data. So this crystal report is a component which allows you to present the information in a detailed row by row fashion. These reports depict the way the data is stored into an underlying database management system, or in other words, typical way the data stores into a normalized or simplified database in a row by row fashion. This is a reporting application flavor or a suite which is aimed at those end users who are at an entry level. Here the user base can be a production unit where they would like to understand the part information that is manufactured in an organization, or those who are concerned with shipping information. Basically they would like to ship some information from their stock warehouses to different destinations, etc. Right? So basically crystal report is a suite of product which is aimed at focusing on a low level or entry level folks, wherein they have, or their duties or responsibilities will include simply making the use of this information to tally the sales on the day in day out. So what kind of information they have got it. Alright, in other words, to talk about in a finance world, this kind of reports are typically being used to generate, right? So basically MIS or management information system, basically the management want to see how much has come in today or how much went out, right? So basically this kind of suite of products, as I've been talking about, is aimed at presenting this information for entry level users. This crystal reports for entry level users, and the crystal report as sample of this looks something like this example. We'll walk over them in more detail going ahead, right? And then you have dashboards. Dashboards is basically a suite of dashboards is a suite of product which allows visualization of the information in a consolidated single page. Dashboard. When we talk about a dashboard, we might start thinking about a dashboard for our car, an automotive, be it your motorbike or on your car. You might want to see the, it presents the information pertaining to the health status of the automotive that you're running in. Example, looking at a simplified dashboard in a typical motorbike will showcase the information pertaining to, in other words, any automotive. The health of your engine, automotive engine status, the speedometer telling you to how fast you're accelerating, a fuel tank indicator telling you whether the the fuel capacity is the fuel is full or do you need a refill. It also tells about the health status of your battery and bunch of other things associated with it. Similarly, guys, a dashboard is basically a step in a BI platform world or a BI enterprise world. This is being utilized to present the information to the individuals who like to understand health status of different aspects of their organization, a department, or even a business unit. The whole idea or objective of this is to visualize consolidated information pertaining to different aspects of the business unit or a department or an organization in a simple snapshot. Just open the page of dashboard and it starts speaking itself. You don't have to worry much. All the information that you wanted to look at it is pretty much being available with the help of this defined dashboards. In other words, dashboards are something which facilitates consolidated information acquired from different sources of business data, right? So a dashboard may interlink to showcase the lineage between your manufacturing, how much of the stock that has been produced today, and then how much of it has been sold and what kind of sales pipeline that you have. You can showcase the lineage on it. Or alternatively, dashboards are something which are aimed at presenting this information to your business decision makers or those guys who like to understand the business information in a snapshot. This is typically aimed at heads of your department or managers who manage the different aspects of the organization, or you may talk about a business unit heads. This can be a vice president or even a central your CEO. Basically, they have a limited time. They would like to understand all the different business aspects of all the aspects of your business organization, and eventually visualize this data in a more meaningful fashion, understand health status of the organization in a simple snapshot. Right? So when we talk about dashboards, we're talking about a different group of audience. As the way we speak about crystal reports, we spoke about different type of audiences. Right? Is that clear, guys? Folks? You guys able to
yes,
follow?
we can.
Cool.
Yes. That's good.
Good. All right, guys. And eventually, you have web intelligence. Web intelligence is basically, this is a self-service reporting application platform. One of the most powerful self-service reporting platform ever founded in the business intelligence segment thus far. The strength of business objects lies in its capabilities that are integrated into the web intelligence area. In other words, guys, web intelligence is the sole reason why a business object is still standing atop in the business intelligence segment across the globe. Right? So this web intelligence is mostly or an extremely used reporting application platform across the globe today. Web intelligence talks about presenting the information in a self-service fashion, meaning if you like to understand and perform a simplified data analysis on top of different corporate data. This may include picking up some information from the sales or eventually some other data which is manufacturing. A self-service reporting which talks about you're empowering the end users to be able to utilize their skills. Okay, they can simply start building these solutions on their own instead of making them dependent on IT systems, raising a request to generate this information up. Alright, so web intelligence is a platform provided for business analysts, somebody who would like to analyze the data on top of their business information in an extremely real-time fashion. In other words, they would like to come up with their own paradigms to analyze the business data and identify different trends. These trends may include comparison of analysis, comparing to what you have in the current year against the last year same period, or looking at various data trends, charts, looking at this information in a coherently, in a more presentable fashion, looking this information into the charts, applying different kind of tabular data sets, or eventually running or creating your own Excel type formulas. So majority of the audience that use web intelligence are typically comes from the Microsoft Excel background. Like I stated, it is the core strength of business objects, and this is one component which is being extremely used by the majority of the audience within the business object suite of products, or your users that use part of the BOE platform. They typically work a lot on web intelligence. This web intelligence is again facilitates a simplified UI and options to be accessed from both intranet using a URL and a standalone system being getting this piece of software installed in your local client machines. So the name it has actually enhanced, it has got with the help of the web introduction. Like I stated, this is the one product which is actually been part of your BI Business Objects 5.1 in way back in late 90s and early 2000s, wherein its capability is to facilitate this presentation of the information over the internet or on the intranet using a web browser instead of depending itself on top of your source data, or in other words, instead of eliminating the need of installing this piece of software into the local system. Right, so key capabilities that it has: sourcing the data from different sources, acquiring the data from different sources, which includes the business objects universes, SAP BW systems, and then it also includes picking up the data from Microsoft Excel based spreadsheets, CSV files, flat files, etc., etc. You can actually be able to pick up the data from different areas. You can pick up the data from different variety of data sources, amalgamate all the data, okay, so compile, coerce all the data together, and eventually present a consolidated information with various analysis that you would like to perform by different end users. Like I stated, it facilitates a simple, easy to use interface which can enable you to write formulas such they may look similar to the way you write in Microsoft Excel, making the end business users to understand and simply write their calculations in a very easier fashion. Right? So in a nutshell, the business intelligence is basically the a core application platform aimed at targeting the user base, which typically talks about the end business users. these end business users may comprise business information consumers or business analysts. Information consumers are basically, they would just understand this data and perform a couple of analysis subsequently, or eventually a business analyst is someone who is aimed at looking at this data and eventually generate some analysis out of it by creating their own charts, graphs, etc., etc. on top of it. Okay, the moment I said a self-service reporting, this is aimed at a business analyst. So business analysts will come up, they are basically the business drivers, so they know how to run the business and analyze the business irrespective of the business segment that you are in. And eventually these folks will contain, they come up with a variety of ideas to analyze this data in various streams. So that can be accomplished, or they'll come up with their ideas, put them into perspective and present or generate this information out from here. Right? So as we talk about these three different components, just to recap, this is talking about the entry level, or typically EL in my way. Okay, this is for entry level reporting, and this is for the managers, and this business intelligence platform or the web intelligence is aimed at business analysts, are also known as BAs. Okay, this is not the typical IDBAs. They are typically driven by the business. Basically, you have these guys comes with lots and lots of business intelligence experience, or the business experience to showcase. Right. So with the introduction of BI4, business objects or SAP has also introduced a new product called advanced analysis. This advanced analysis is a component which allows the business users to be able to communicate or pick up the data that they have stored into the SAP BW system. Just to let you know, guys, for those guys who may not be familiar with SAP BW, SAP BW is basically SAP's proprietary business warehouse. Okay, so it's again a data warehouse system being built on top of the SAP's ERP system data. This by default ships with procurement of SAP ERP system, and by default, if you have an SAP ERP system to be implemented in an organization, you also have SAP BW shipped along with it. The sole idea and objective of SAP BW system is to present the information that is in a consolidated fashion acquired by acquiring the data from different business sources, putting all that information together, and eventually present the data in the form of a data cube to the end users. And then why we have this advanced analysis? Like I stated, advanced analysis is basically comes in two versions. One is advanced analysis for Office. It comes with two interfaces. One is Microsoft Excel based advanced analysis Office, and then you have Microsoft PowerPoint advanced analysis. Both of these components put together are aimed at communicating with SAP BW system in acquiring BW data to be presented in either in Microsoft Excel spreadsheet or eventually a Microsoft PowerPoint system. Initially, guys, before the release of BI4 platform, business warehouse systems used to have an interface known as BEX. In other words, basically, BEX is still they have in the form of constructing queries. There is something called a BEX analyzer. That is, a BEX analyzer is a Microsoft Excel add-on that used to be deployed into the client system to facilitate communication with the SAP BW based data. If you like to pick up SAP BW based data using a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, in order for you to communicate to SAP BW system, you have Microsoft Excel based add-on. There's Microsoft Excel based add-on allowing you to facilitate communication into the SAP BW system and consume its data, whatever that is stored into the SAP BW cube. However, with the introduction of advanced analysis, that is now being integrated into a BI application platform, and the capability that it has is basically you can start communicating with multiple different queries and extract all the data into Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, and eventually the business users can then start consolidating this data using some Excel-based formulas, consolidate all the data and jack them up to be presented into a consolidated Excel spreadsheet, which will eventually present all the data in one single spreadsheet. The beauty of this is all this information can then be shared with other business users by publishing this information into the Business Objects Enterprise platform. So you can actually, after constructing this Excel spreadsheet, which is sourced from different areas, you can actually share it among the rest of your colleagues or the information consumers who might want to consume this data by exporting this piece of data into the BOE platform. You can move them into the Business Objects Enterprise platform and subsequently make this data available for the end users. Okay. In other words, this makes it pretty integrated, extremely integrated, to facilitate your BOE data, amalgamating it with the subsequent end users as well. So this basically making it a cleaner and eventually integrated approach than that of the existing BEX queries or BEX analyzer add-on that they used to have. Right. So data can be shared among different users, and you can also acquire the data from different data sources, amalgamate it, and present them and make them an interactive Excel-based reporting, and eventually share them among the end users. Similarly, like I stated, it also has a PowerPoint presentation. So this is basically allowing the end users to acquire all the data into Microsoft PowerPoint system, without having to construct or generate your own data sets and copying and pasting them. This presentation, this capability enables it to acquire all the data, create lucrative charts, graphs using the Microsoft PowerPoint, use them as presentation needs to present this information back to the your top management or the business decision maker who might want to consume this data and make this or basically use this information to present it in a more meaningful fashion as part of your corporate presentations. Right? So that's the capability of your advanced analysis, folks. The primary capability is that it will enable you to connect to the BW system to start with. It also has advanced analysis for OLAP edition. There are two editions that I talked about. The advanced analysis for Office, allowing you to communicate with BW based stuff, and advanced analysis for OLAP edition facilitates the communication with a bunch of numerous OLAP data sources. The moment I say an OLAP data source, which may include different other data sources such as Microsoft SQL Server Analysis Services, also known as SSAS data cubes, you can consume the data, or eventually you have a bunch of additional data cubes coming from Oracle Express or Hyperion SBase, or eventually SIS Institute's data cubes. So these are all like data cubes which are pre-packaged, comes with the standard dimensions inside, facilitates all this information to be acquired with the help of your SAP's advanced analysis for Microsoft, OLAP edition interfaces, guys. Alright, so lastly, they have also amalgamated a new product which used to be a standalone before, known as Explorer. Right, so in other words, guys, let me complete this. The BW based this advanced analysis is aimed at those users who like to consume the data from BW systems or OLAP data sources into Excel based spreadsheets or PDF Excel based PowerPoint presentations to consume this data and make rest of amendments and eventually present this data to the end users or the targeted audience. So these guys who like to whose data sources are based on BW or OLAP sources, they are aimed at utilizing the product called advanced analysis. All right, as the way we continue, guys, the other product that we have is basically Explorer. Then when we started talking about Explorer is basically, the name itself is self-explained. It is data exploration tool. Well, what I mean by exploration? An exploration is a mechanism which will allow you to see data lineage or the integrity of the data on various sets instantly. When I say the visualization is a presentation of the information in different aspects, showcasing this information in charts, different types of charts, graphs, or eventually facilitating this data set to be utilized or analyzed based on various parameters. Applying some conditions. These conditions may include, but not limited to, picking up the top sales, bottom sales, best customer, bad customer, and the trending analysis across the different products, eventually using different geographies. You can use different geographies to depict it and eventually showcasing this information in a more meaningful fashion, presenting the information based on different types of charting practices, which include using them heat maps or geographical maps, charts, pies, donuts, or eventually using data to be visualized in a candlesticks or a different kind of other charting patterns. When we talk about Explorer, Explorer is basically an in-memory computing application platform, meaning it actually utilizes system's main memory to run these applications by acquiring this data from different other sources. Explorer can acquire the data from business objects feeder products such as the universes and Excel-based spreadsheet data, or all the data that you have stored in the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. You can pick all the data into the stream and eventually create indexes on top of this data and create aggregations in a pre-computed fashion based on various possible permutations and combinations of information that's available within the selected or provisioned data set. When we say data exploration and search, it also allowing you to search for data. We can actually search within the Explorer data set to search for a keyword. This keyword can be a product name stating that t-shirts which has a red color. Example, you want to analyze the data completely on top of a t-shirts which has red color data. Eventually, it uses those keywords to search through the data that is available in the index space and eventually present this information to you. Like I stated further, Explorer also allowing you to index the information, whatever the information that it has sought after, whatever the information that has been procured thus far. All of this has been massaged, consolidated, moved into an exploration data set known as an information space. This can answer a variety of the questions that you might have on the selected data, asking it to showcase the best sales, worst sales, the top customer, bad customer, best profitability, worst profitability product. It can allow you to answer all your queries instantly with a click of a mouse, and it hardly takes a couple of microseconds to answer your questions. As in oppose, it may take several minutes of time and extreme amount of processing to be done, visualizing the same information into different other aspects of the reporting products. Right, this is one of the most sought after reporting application platform of late, since it runs in the system's main memory, and its key capabilities is to searching the information, facilitating the presentation of the information as what you need for, and eventually its capability also lies in the effective visualization, which talks about utilizing or visualizing this data in different kind of forms, variety of different charting patterns, answering different kind of other questions that you might have, and addressing the real business areas on top of it. Explorer is again available into different types. By default, Explorer can be accessed using the SAP Business Objects BI platforms, BI Launchpad. It is going to be applied as an application platform within the BI Launchpad. In other words, the SAP Business Objects BI portal. Inside the BI portal, you can have this information presented inside. Right. So this is now next question. Who are the intended audience for this specific application platform? The applied audience for this application platform are advanced business analysts, or in other words, business analysts who would like to post their thoughts to see its results, instantly answering them the questions that they have on top of their business data. Right, so this is all being done at the business analyst again, but these guys have capabilities to analyze this data in more meaningful fashion. Eventually, this identified information can then be furtherly presented to the end users to showcase what its capabilities are, and eventually present it back to their management to get their offerings, in other words, get their permissions or approvals to re-massage this information, present it, or make the business decisions on top of it. Okay, the beauty of this is, again, this can be shared among other business users, okay, within the BI system, or eventually this can be exported. You can use this data to be exported into Microsoft Excel, or eventually CSV sheet, or convert this into a variety of other data sources and distribute it among the other users. Right, so this is basically, guys, Explorer aimed at different kind of other audiences, primarily aiming at advanced business analysts, or like a senior guys who has the capability to make a business decision on top of it. Right, so in a nutshell, guys, the BI platform and the SAP Business Objects BI platform comprises a different kind of variety of source products which are aimed at targeting at a different kind of audiences which are part of organization. So basically, one organization, one BI's platform suite is the motive or motto of Business Object BI platform 4. Right, it can something, if you have actually deployed a BI platform solution within an organization, it has the capability to scale or cater for different kind of organization users, different kind of users that you have within the organization. All of these folks can be, all of the needs of all of these organizations can be catered with the help of the SAP Business Objects BI platform, comprising the products of Crystal Reports, Dashboards, Web Intelligence, Advanced Analysis, Explorer, and a bunch of other new products to talk about. Right? So the motive of the Business Objects suite of products, which includes the one organization and one BI platform, it can scale and cater for all the needs of organization in one single platform. Is that clear, folks? Do you have any further questions here?
Shrikant, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, is every organization need all these reporting tools?
Depending on the choice, basically. The whole idea for this is, if you talk about the larger enterprises, okay, the larger enterprises definitely need all of these tools. But if it is an SME, smaller scale enterprise, they might just better off using Web Intelligence and Crystal Reports. So SAP has different licensing models to cater for different kind of organizational needs. If somebody who would like to have a larger organization, to name a few, the biggest, the Fortune 500 organizations across the globe, which may include, they may have the need of having all of these products put together to targeting at it. But smaller organizations who may be part of Fortune 5,000 across the globe, they may just want to run it using a Web Intelligence platform. They may simply choose a Web Intelligence, or eventually possibly a dashboard together. So the licensing models definitely varies. and depending on the organization who's being served, they can have a different kind of licensing products that they want to.
Okay. So I have one more question. Let's say, for example, you told me like we can do the reporting on BW system using the web intelligence, and as well as we can use advanced analysis where we can do the reporting on BW.
That's right.
So in what scenario, I mean, can you give an example like when we need to go for WebI and when we need to go for advanced analysis?
Well, advanced analysis is basically if you would like to make a corporate presentation instantly, you might have some data being amalgamated from different other sources apart from the BW system, and you can choose the advanced analysis. Especially those users who are so familiar with the Excel, users has a tendency that they don't want to go out of their loud zone, which is Microsoft Excel. So that's when you may typically go into BW system, using the advanced analysis to acquire this data from the BW system. If you talk about presenting some information which is more interactive, okay, facilitating a navigation using the drill downs or using natural dimensional capacities that are available or amalgamated into your BW system, if you want to explore all those facilities, the web intelligence is a solution for you. Example, Excel doesn't facilitate an interactive drill down or drill up. You will have to click on the buttons to identify this data set. So basically, if you would like to analyze or expand some area wherein you want to facilitate an automatic navigation or showcasing the data based on a simplified drill downs and drill ups, the web intelligence is a solution for you. So typically, it is usually been driven by the user choice. If the user coming from a typical Excel background who might want to see all of its data to be facilitated in Microsoft Excel, the best way to go out is advanced analysis. As someone who loves to looking at all the data in interactive fashion, web intelligence is a solution.
So in that case, is this advanced analysis integrated with the BI platform?
Yes, that's right. You can also export this data, save this information back to the BI platform.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. No problem. Any other questions, friends?
Well, Shrikant, is this advanced analysis only confined to BW database, or can it be extrapolated to other databases like DB2, Oracle, and stuff?
Okay, advanced analysis aimed at building at the BW and HANA to start with. It also supports the acquiring the data from different kind of OLAP sources. The moment I say OLAP sources, Microsoft Analysis Services, Hyperion SBase, and SIS based analytics. So these things we can export it. So the whole idea or objective of this is to replace the Excel add-on that they have in the previous time to facilitate the communication with the BW platform.
Okay.
Okay.
Shrikant, one more last question I have. Like you said, like web intelligence is a self reporting tool, and as well as Explorer also is a self explorer tool. So what makes the difference between web intelligence and Explorer?
Like I stated, data exploration, answering your question instantly, is like a text analysis if we talk about it. If you want to answer a question in a web intelligence, you might have to choose a different kind of parameters and search through the data. It may take time. You might need to apply filters. Explorer is self-discovery. The self-discovery talks about it has intelligence being built to answer all the variety of your questions that you might pass in, depending on the business segment. Or in an example, you're picking up the financial data, the banking data. It showcases you the best products automatically based on its sales revenue generated. If you are looking at the sales information, it automatically showcases you the best products, etc. In other words, Explorer allowing you to search the data instantly, search for it as the way you Google it. When you Google some information, you get the answers instantly, don't you? It's just the same case here.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. All right. Any other questions here, guys? If you have any further questions, just let me know, folks. If not, I think that's all I have set forth for the agenda for this specific session. And I hope this is interactive and informative for you. And I hope you enjoyed this session. Just in case if you have any further questions, please let me know. I'm here to help you out answering them. All right, so thank you very much for your time pulling out for this session today. Thanks a lot once again. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll continue to look forward to you in the subsequent sessions going ahead. Right?
Yeah. Thanks, Vikram.
Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Take care.
You too.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.